Good evening.
Everyone.
I forgot to get my
evening.
coffee.
This is the Three Marketer Show, and this is the episode 91. We are counting down to episode 100, which is going to be our last episode for this round. After that, we will go for a
Hibernation
break,
mode.
and and we will let you know if we come back in about whatever next steps that we might take. But nonetheless, welcome back to the Three Marketer Show. I'm Jason with my co-host. We have Manfred on my left or right, anyway. And Andrew at the bottom. We didn't want to do the the vertical thing because it makes our face look so big and scary a little bit. Don't want to give you nightmare at this hour. So basically, if this is the first time you see us, what we do here is we discuss things about Facebook advertising, digital marketing, and entrepreneurship, marketing. In this show itself, we have interviewed, tens of people, right? Awesome people.
More than that.
More than I think 50
more than
to 60
plus.
people. More than 50 plus,
60,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, maybe 60 because some guests came back
Three times.
three times, and these are all good people, awesome people.
Yes.
Good friends. Very experienced people. You actually can learn from them. So if you have never watched any one of them, I would advise you to go back to my YouTube channel and look for the Three Marketer Show. We have so many episodes of good content. So Go ahead and learn. Now, today in episode 91, we're going to get technical a little bit because the other day while we were discussing about the topic, right, Manfred suddenly said, hey, let's talk about conversion API. Because he said he learned something very interesting. And, and I do believe conversion API is a topic that is quite debated in a way because I do receive quite some questions on my YouTube channel because, other than this Three Marketer Show, I also go live every Sunday night to answer questions from, my viewers on my YouTube channel. Conversion API, pixel tracking, these are all, some of those common questions that people ask. So I guess it's good we do a bit of discussion over here. Hopefully, we talk about your challenges and hopefully we are able to provide some insights. But nonetheless, if you have any questions at all, feel free to pop in a comment. And even if you're watching the replay, feel free to pop in a comment as well, because I will pick them up and I will answer them in my other shows as well. But nonetheless, welcome to the show. Now, I would let Manfred kick off the ball because...
Give us some context.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it is quite a no-brainer that if you do Facebook Ads Manager, besides having the Business Manager, it is extremely important to have your pixel set up. You must have a pixel set up. If you don't set up a pixel, you can't have standard pixel event. You don't have custom conversion, which I don't recommend people use that unless you have no choice. Okay. Then with the iOS 14.5, you are restricted to 8 pixel events. And you have to use this AEM, aggregated event measurement or management, to prioritize which events. Okay, but let me highlight one thing. Even though I set it up, the pixel event, okay, I just go a little bit deeper. Obviously, say example, when you put your JavaScript from the Facebook event, you put inside your pages. The default one of it obviously is the page view. Everyone. So, say example, for your reservation page or your booking page, for my case, okay, then you want to put maybe say example, you label it event called content view. Use the standard names. I think it's case sensitive, not wrong. Okay, content view or maybe even schedule. You label it. Then of course the thank you page or the confirmation, you also label it as your complete registration or your purchase, depending whether you got money involved. All these are labeling it. So that back in the old days, when you do this, voila, everything finished before iOS 14, before last year, done already. Then you can happily track the event, because one of the most important things in Facebook Ads Manager is that you want enough people to trigger the events. Say example, 1,000 people trigger the event. So you have a pool of audience. You can form a custom audience. Then you do lookalike. This is the critical part. This is what I say separates Facebook's ads management, ad advertising compared to some other ecosystem like Shopee or Lazada, which they don't have that kind of machine learning. That's how I see it. Okay, so that was the good old days. But along came this iOS 14.5, which Apple claims that more privacy. In fact, their advertisement more on privacy. Then a lot of things got disrupted. A lot of things Facebook took it out. The audience insight is not there. A lot of things disappeared, and there was a big hoo-ha. I remember they even published a newspaper advertisement accusing of Apple. But one thing I find very strange is that if Facebook really not happy with Apple, they can do one thing quite fatal. They can say, okay, never mind. Since Apple do this kind of stupid thing, I withdraw Facebook app from iPhone. I move everything to Android. You want me to die? Make sure you die. But I don't think they will do that. But they can do, maybe Android is going to do the same thing also. So okay, that is out of the point already. So basically, last time, you just put the Pixel event and label it on your page and done. You can just sit back and make sure the thing get triggered. But if you do this now, for your current situation, it's not working anymore. There will be a lot of under-reporting. As in, there will be a lot of booking coming in for my case, but the ads manager is not reporting. When it doesn't hit 50 conversion within 7 days, you can't get out of the learning phase, which is going to impact your spending. So I'm going very technical. So that's why we need a bit of the conversion API. But as usual, I like to sidetrack. Okay, I like to sidetrack. I think my two co-hosts cannot stand me already.
You sidetracked so far away already, my friend. Okay, anyway.
You were not on track all the time anyway, so I would let you go.
From a layman's point of view, basically is you must have head and tail. So when you have head, when you're running ads, if there's no tail to have the closure, basically your ads cannot be shown to be moving or to be working. So long story short is, because of iOS 14, the tail has been discontinued, and basically you're sending ads to the ether. And Facebook do not know whether their ads or their audience is actually working or not. So they keep on sending all sort of audience to you, and that's how your performance drop. By the way, Apple's move has cost Facebook supposedly 10 billion worth of revenue since
But in a way, it is also forcing Facebook to quickly come up with a better lead gen form, better Facebook shop. Basically, they wanted more people to come into the ecosystem, tie people into the ecosystem. Just Apple wanted to tie people. So I cannot say it's 100% fully wrong, but that's a bit.
That's business. That's how it is.
So people who have been doing ads manager, you'll notice that the tracking inside the ads part, you'll notice there's two options for under the website. Under the website, there's actually pixel only tracking and domain tracking. So if you play around enough, I think Facebook did mention the domain tracking is better than pixel only tracking. That's why you need to verify your domain. That's the intermediate step on top of the pixel. You verify your domain. The domain is yours. Of course, I think business profile also need to verify on top of that. Then I have one very interesting problem. So the business itself, a lot of business actually, this is a bit more deeper. Doesn't apply to all businesses. Some businesses require third-party services, just like a booking system. Okay, so they require a booking system. Say, example, mine is abc.com. So once my visitors see my page, they want to do booking, they go to a third party. Say, example, a third party. Let's call it XYZ Booking. They do all the selection, fill up their personal detail, which seat they want, maybe like a cinema. Then they pay or something like that. Once it's done, then the whole thing complete. So the third party actually do the booking. So the question comes, third party website doesn't do for your own business. Third party website also do for other businesses. So say example like movie theater, they not only do for Singapore case, not only doing for Golden Village, maybe doing for Shaw, doing for Cathay. So they cannot for my understanding, you can put your Facebook event into this third party and they will trigger, as in before confirmation, they will trigger the standard event, and after they can trigger. Then you can see when your visitors comes in, and you plan the last part. I think I'm horrible in.
And your question is?
My question is, cross domain is possible.
I'm just being an idiot today.
Yeah.
Wait. Hang on. You repeat your question.
No, I'm saying that cross domain. Say example, I'm a Golden Village Cinema. Okay, this website is mine, but the booking system is not yours. It's using a third party.
Yep.
Yeah. So you put a standard event. Say example, complete registration down there. You put a scheduled event before your confirmation down there. You are able to put down there cross domain. You also can. I don't think you can verify their domain. You can't verify their domain.
It's not
But
owned
you
by
can
you.
allow them. There's an allow list, allow their domain. Then you can see, as in when your visitor confirm, when they trigger, then your ads manager can report.
So you have fixed the problem.
Yeah, I fixed the problem. This
You
one
fixed the problem already. So the reporting is fixed.
Cross domain.
Cross domain reporting is fixed.
Cross domain itself.
Oh,
Okay.
so you actually solved the cross domain stuff, lah.
Because
Yeah.
they recently launched the allow list.
Oh.
Allow list, I think I can't remember how long was that. So
They have
It's not very long ago, I think, because they understand that this is one of the whole. I mean, okay, now, guys, thank you so much for your endurance up to now. I'm not saying that Manfred is not good. Manfred is very technical. He is very knowledgeable, and he gets very deep. So I'm helping you guys in case you're kind of lost about what he's talking about now. Let's start from Facebook Pixel.
Mhm.
I think we have to understand what the hell is Facebook Pixel. Now, Facebook Pixel is a string of code you install on your website, technically your website, okay? And it's meant for two purposes. First thing first is to measure, meaning that we will report back all these so-called conversions or things that people do on your website back to match it to the advertisement that you're running. So let's say if you run conversion, if there is a conversion happen because of a Facebook ad, they will report back to the campaign itself so that you know that the campaign has generated you some X number of conversions.
Yes.
Now, that's the first purpose. Now, the other purpose is to track, which means when you install Pixel on your website, it allows Facebook to track people's activities on your website. And in turn, you're able to group them based on action taken, whether they have bought something on your site or they visit but did not bought something. So eventually with this, you're able to group them into different custom audiences, which custom audiences allows you to do a few things. First, it allows you to do retargeting, meaning that you know these people have landed, but they haven't buy. So you can tell them, you can send them an ad and say that, hey, I know you are here, man. What the hell? You're not buying yet. Come on, let me give you some voucher, entice them to buy. So that's one way. All right, retargeting, custom audience can be used for retargeting, exclusion, and it actually can be used to create custom audiences as well. Lookalike audiences.
Lookalike audiences.
So lookalike audiences are essentially people who look like people who have taken certain action on your website. Let me repeat. Lookalike audiences are essentially people who look like people who have taken action on your website. So it actually all ties back to what Facebook knows about us. Okay, so when Manfred talk about this iOS 14.5, now this is not an apocalypse. This is what happened is Apple launched a new version of iOS, which is now like zombie years ago already. Anyway, it's already 16, 15, 16, 15, 16 is already, right? I think they're launching 16 soon.
15.
So iOS 14.5 was a very important milestone for so-called transparency and data privacy. So what Apple did was they actually built a layer to actually aggregate before the event is being reported back to Facebook server, which is what we call the App Tracking Transparency Framework.
Yep.
Essentially, it's a layer. So a lot of people would say that Apple is helping people, blocking Facebook privacy, but I can also argue that hell, Apple is taking all the number. Apple is processing, he set up a layer to process the data on their own first before they send it over to Facebook. So because all this data doesn't go back to Facebook's, server directly, it's not the end of the world. It's just that there will be delay in reporting. The delay can go up to 72 hours, if I'm not mistaken.
Does it affect the accuracy of reporting?
I mean, of course, because in delays, if you look at, if the let's say if the conversion is reported 3 days later, then it will be like, oh, 3 days ago sucks. You know,
I see. Okay.
all these numbers won't be tally anymore.
Yep. Yep. Not immediate lah. Not
Correct.
almost
It's not
written.
immediate. It's not immediate. So basically, there are two ways. You know, when they set up, basically what iOS is doing here is it actually forces people to whether you choose whether you want to allow these apps to track you or not allowing this app to track you. But if you see, here's the thing. I don't know whether you guys remember being asked to allow Facebook or Instagram to track you. Have you ever been asked for that? Actually, no. Actually, no.
Yeah.
Actually, no. All right? I've never been asked. Instagram never asked me. Like my app, my iPhone never asked me, do you allow Instagram to track your thing? Do you allow Facebook to track your thing? Nothing, It didn't happen,
It didn't happen.
But what happened is other people's apps.
Very true. Actually,
You see?
I'm an
So
Android
here's the
user.
thing. A lot of people will be saying, oh, it's the end of the world for iPhone and all that. We're losing a lot of data. Come on, man. As long as they are on Facebook and on Instagram,
you're okay.
everything within the app itself is being tracked 100%.
Yep.
It's just when they go out and do something else, it may not report back is because, they don't allow. So you see, who is losing a lot of data? Other mobile apps. And of course, the reporting, which means, in fact, what is really happening here is that's why Facebook it's kind of like one thing that is really dropping very drastically is, the distribution of ads in what do we call audience networks. Do you realize that back then, an audience network, when you allow all placement, right? Audience network will shoot a lot of placement. But nowadays, the audience network is at the bottom. Very low distribution of ads. I mean, this is one of the observations I see. So here's the thing, all right? What Facebook is saying here is, of course, they set up a lot more technical stuff like, the aggregated event measurement, where you're allowed, this is a bit technical, but what Facebook wants us to do right now here is this. Their big direction is this. First thing first, you don't just install Pixel because Pixel is a browser level kind of tracking.
Yes.
It's a browser level, which means the browser can be blocked, like all these things can be blocked. But as long as you are, then they ask you to install the conversion API. That's why it's very interesting. Manfred wants to put this episode title as conversion API, but the moment he come in, he talk about cross-domain tracking. It's very interesting. But cross-domain tracking is a very deep topic. But if you guys are here because of conversion API, I have to put the topic back. Our friend went too far, okay, but we will let him tell his story first. But okay, now conversion API is essentially, first, in order to have conversion API, you need to have Pixel first. It's not essentially it's another string of code, but you can't really do it on your own. You need to work with your domain, your hosting provider to do that. So either you have a programmer to go into the server and install some script over there, or if you're using like WordPress, Wix, and all that, right? You can use Wix to connect everything.
Yeah.
So
Partner integration.
Sorry?
Partner integration.
It's called partner integration.
But that's the bigger players one, like WordPress.
So if you are not using WordPress, Wix, or something, then you have to get somebody else to do it. That's why this is really something that I can't help. That's why, when Manfred say, I thought you're the expert in what? Installing conversion API.
That's out of scope already. Because those are system level.
Yeah, do I look like a programmer to you? I'm not, man, seriously. Even a programmer also can't be expert in all kind of server kind of like environment.
Different flavors.
There are different operating system, different stuff. So I guess this has to come back to your implementation level where you have to work with your technical team to get it solved. But essentially, it's good to have both. Because this is for the benefit of pooling. The essential part of this Facebook Pixel and Conversion API, if your question is, are these two things different? It's actually the same thing. It's just implemented at a different level.
Yep. Different layers. One at server level, the other one is browser level.
Yeah, correct. But it all comes back to the same domain. abc.com is still abc.com.
Yep.
It's just that when Pixel fails to report, the conversion API would help to actually pick up the what's lost and to report back. So our friend driving, watching from car,
please be careful.
Hey, you drive, you don't type.
Yeah.
Someone come and say it's not easy. Hey, come on, I hope it's your wife typing. Okay,
Yeah.
you are just listening.
Hey, we still want you to come back after
Yeah.
the 2 weeks break to host the version 2 of Three Marketer Show, you know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be the next generation of the three
Just listen.
marketers. Yeah. Be good, drive carefully.
Yes.
So to add on to Jason, actually I think there is a new one called Conversion API Gateway, which I want
Yes.
to try. And to be very honest, I have not successfully set up a conversion API. I believe that once you set it up, the reporting will be much more accurate because currently I think I have bookings, but the ads manager never report.
But conversion API can definitely not happen, can definitely not install to your own domain kind of stuff. So the cross domain does not ring
It's
a
a
bell
separate
already.
discussion altogether.
No, cross domain
Yeah.
cannot because obviously the third party won't allow you to.
Of course. In
No,
fact,
even Pixel, what? You can't even
in
install
fact,
your
Pixel
Pixel into
also,
other
I
people
don't think they
website,
should
right?
allow, you know. Agree or not, Andrew?
No, they don't allow.
But
You-
okay, but apparently his partner allowed that lah.
Certain so-called businesses, they do. For example, certain affiliate business, they allow you to install the Pixel in so that you can track because it's affiliate related stuff.
But if third party
not
don't
all.
allow me to put the standard event inside there, then no need to run ads manager already. No need. Then every day I do traffic, do reach. No need to do
I mean, this is
conversion.
exactly something that I've been advocating on. Just like, it's the same discussion as when people are actually driving ads to their Shopee store if they do not have CPass.
Yeah.
It's the
Doesn't
same
mean you
thing. I
don't do.
mean, I think what's really important here is, I think if the main topic is about cross-domain,
Mm.
I mean, allow me to chip in. I mean, before you wanted to say something, Andrew, you on to that.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, is this, if you don't have the access over to other domain, I mean, we work around. You see, in my opinion, I mean, there are many ways of the whole process to work. That's why what Manfred brought up here is a very interesting discussion where, in fact, in the past 2 years, Facebook has been advocating about on Facebook or on Instagram kind of like a conversion event. That's why the new Facebook ads objective, which we call the ODEX, Objective Driven Advertising Experience, the 11 objectives strings to 6. And then they actually group together. There is one category called sales, and messenger is one of them.
Oh, okay.
They
I
have
still haven't
advocating-
seen the six.
New account.
Yeah.
New account, then we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, if you simply go and create a new account, then you'll be seeing it already. Like,
I
okay,
see.
but before we go, GY, you're not driving, right? GY say the coding part is not easy.
Of
That's
course.
why it's a lot. I mean, when people ask me about this, I would be like, I can't help you,
Yeah.
man, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I believe GY has tried it, and I guess, yeah, it's not easy. So this is what we would suggest. If you're working with a hosting provider or a system that does not, I mean, it's not part of a partner, then get help. I think the easiest way is to get help. Actually, to get it fixed. Too many people try to do it themselves, just like Pixel. But Pixel, you can. Conversion
Quite
API, I
straightforward.
don't think you can.
Yeah. Not that straightforward.
Andrew, you want to say something just now? Or Manfred?
Andrew, you want to say something?
Yeah. I mean, your point about Shopee without what was it?
Third party, as in it's a third
CPass.
party. CPass.
So if you're a Shopee seller and you don't have the CPass facility, it's before Facebook, before social media, ads were running on radio and broadcast TV. There's no tracking. You are basically broadcasting, and to everyone who is tuning in. And the way marketers do is they craft the message to call out specifically audience who may have an interest in what you have, and then to take action. So maybe out of 10 million people, maybe 100 people is take advantage, basically understand the message, and that's the 10 people they want to talk to anyways. So people, advertisers nowadays are kind of like getting so pampered because without tracking I can do this, and all those things. The broadcast media has been doing it for umpteen years.
The main thing I want to highlight is the reason why we're spending so much time on Facebook advertising. Of course, Google also since similarly is because of the machine learning. Because we are allowing the algorithm to help us to identify. Because even Singapore has roughly 6 million Facebook population.
Right.
Because some people have 2 accounts. okay, you're not going to reach out 6 million to sell a thing. As in, once the flag keep triggering, you have sufficient, say, example, more 1,000 people who purchase or even reach your landing page. That's sufficient data to let them know. Oh, so then of course you can use that to do look-alike. So it brings you your funnel is more well built. That's the whole reason. And honestly, beside Google and I thought Google, I'm not so sure. Okay, other advertising, I don't even want to see. If you don't even have this, I don't think TikTok is doing it that well. Also,
Yeah, but you're ignoring the power of
you
creatives
need the
and also
machine learning
messaging
to
and
help
content.
you to do a lot of heavy lifting. If you go back to the old days without the tracking, I think you're going to spend a lot of money to your cost per lead or cost per purchase will be supremely high, extremely high. That's the beauty about why I'm so obsessed with the Facebook Ads Manager. And Jason, don't mind, I just pass you a link. If people are interested, they can actually go to this developer.facebook.com.
No, it's very easy. Just go to Google Conversion API, look for something from Facebook. That's it. You don't even need to link coming from me. I think that's the official link.
It's available. Yeah,
it's available everywhere. You don't need that. But here's the thing. I think it's a very good discussion that we brought up here. First thing first, Andrew said, before Facebook, that's how we do it.
Yeah.
But after Facebook, exactly, there's something that at one point we were arguing. In fact, Facebook, with all the technology, it makes marketers lazy.
I agree the copy is important. But you have to agree that targeting is also equally important.
No. You're missing the point, Manfred. The targeting is not getting better. The targeting is not getting weaker. Facebook is still collecting data.
Yeah.
It is just your attribution is not as good as before, or as robust as before, or maybe, as you can say, as accurate as before. But nonetheless, there's one thing I always like to question people when it comes to this topic. What? Pixel is the only way you track your conversion.
Got other way, man?
You get what my question or not? Hey, can you freaking ask your customer? I mean,
that's it. The whole life is dependent on no pixel, then no need to advertise already.
Hey, before no pixel, you run advertisement. How can you find out whether your customer come from your newspaper or whatnot? I mean, exactly. I like the idea of how Andrew brought this up.
You do a survey,
not necessarily offline. Let's take Google. I mean, let's take Shopee advertisement, for example. I mean, I saw Doris coming up with a question, but before we go on that, let's take a look at this question coming from Doris. It's actually Doris. Yes.
Oh, it's actually Doris.
Yeah,
okay.
Doris. So Doris is asking, does Google has conversion API to apply on Google Ads? Yes, there is a tracking.
That is like the Google Analytics code.
Yeah, it's just their own tracking.
Yeah.
It's just their own tracking, and it's usually either you can tie it to your Google Analytics, which makes it a little bit easier to implement, or you can implement directly onto your website as well. Okay, but yeah, that's something that you can do. Okay, Doris, thanks. And what Shiwai say here is no pixel won't die. Actually, okay, now even our fourth marketer agrees to that. What about you guys? Do you agree that?
Reminds on a song, no woman, no cry. So no pixel, no cry.
Yeah, I mean, it's advertising doomsday when your pixel is not working, or it's being affected by the iOS 14.5. I mean, how many of you are being affected when you run ads on Facebook? How many of you are being affected? How? Tell me. Affected how?
I as usual like to sidetrack a little bit.
So you are always sidetracked. So I would remember your question is, how are you affected?
Yes.
You go sidetrack, you remember to come back on track. Go.
Google Ads, I think personally is even more strict. I have an experience that I put in a URL. I tried to first time set an account, do a URL. Then they said DNS error. Then I was like, what the fuck? First time I come across DNS error. Then I try. It doesn't work. No, it doesn't allow me to go to the landing page that I want. Then I fed up. No, I go and put another URL. Then it can work. No, as in still under the same brand. So I think Google is even more strict, even for their similar audience. Their custom audience called similar audience, which I'm not sure what's the criteria. It doesn't appear first time when you set up a new account. So this is even more tougher compared to Facebook. Okay, then come back to without pixel. Without pixel, you can only run traffic. You can run even traffic can't do landing page view, right? If I'm not wrong. You can do reach.
You can
Ah,
do
you can't
landing
do
page view.
How can you not? I mean, why not?
Yeah.
You
Traffic
cannot do
can-
conversion, then it's like
Why not?
cutting
Why not?
off one of my hand.
Why not?
Conversion then without reporting, how you
Say,
going to build your
what? Wait, do you install Pixel in your website in the first place?
I do.
You do, then why can't you do conversion? And now remember one more thing, very important thing. Remember what is conversion. Let's do
Conversion.
Facebook Ads Objective 101 here. What is conversion?
Conversion is when people reach your confirmation page or thank you page, it trigger the event, means it's a conversion.
Conversion for Facebook is valuable action taken by people on your website.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to conversion, you're allowed to choose event, right?
Yes.
Okay. I know you're talking about purchase, but is add to cart not?
Add the card is also event.
Is initial checkout not? Is
It's
page
also
view not?
Yep. Page view, no value lah. Page view.
I mean, I'm not talking about value here. Basically, I'm just saying that the pixel is still doing its job. And you are still able to track based on certain thing and attribute based on certain thing. But what happened to your case here is you are talking about cross-domain. You don't confuse our audience over here.
Okay.
We're talking about cross-domain because it's your very unique situation when people land on your website, they go to other people's website, other people's website to complete the conversion and purchase over there. That's why you lose them. But here's the thing, to me is, if I'm not able to do the conversion, which is, I don't know how you negotiate your way to get your pixel installed on their Atlanta, which is not, I would say, you don't listen to Manfred. You can go and argue with your whatever service provider. I would say 99% of them won't allow you to do that.
Yeah.
And don't take the 3 marketers' word because of Manfred and say, hey, they did that. Don't. You want to blame, you go and find Manfred. But here's the thing. If you can't do that, isn't the last damn click people take on your site
Before going to
can
them?
be,
Absolutely.
I mean, then,
Yeah.
let's say, for example, you record, here I record 100 click. Then over there, I record 10 sign up. I mean, isn't that a way that we can actually draw a hypothesis about the relation of this whole journey?
Yeah.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
That's why I say the thing is the over reliance of pixel. Actually, you're right.
Yes,
makes
over
marketers
reliance.
lazy. That
Lazy man.
I've got customers coming back and say, the reporting in Facebook is not accurate. I say very simple. How much you spend money on your Facebook ads, and then how much results you get because you know the endpoint. People sign up, pay money, you have that. It may not be reported on Facebook, but you have this information. Put 2 and 2 together, you have the information already.
Yeah, lor.
Right? You
Isn't
just
it how we
basically
analyze?
run Excel, you will know the cost per result or cost per ads and all those things, the ROAS and all those stuff. You don't have to rely on Facebook. You can just use the bloody Excel and you can map that out already. And end of the day, especially if they only have one source of advertising, that means they only advertise on Facebook, and all of a sudden I get significant results before I actually run advertising. Obviously, Facebook ads is working.
Yeah.
To what extent only?
I mean, it's the same thing. Just like when we run lead gen for clients, let's take for example, those property developers that spend a lot of budget on Facebook advertising. You see, not everybody who see their ad will bloody submit as a lead. That's why it's mandatory that they make every single people who walk through the door, they ask them,
Yep.
how do you find out about the project? That's why from there, they will find out, there are actually a certain amount of people who walk through the door because of the ad, but they never sign up as a lead. But we attribute that as Facebook's conversion. I mean, isn't that how analytical work?
The attribution is important, but a lot of people are not doing it. Honestly, I also not doing it because
Why
I
are you
got
not
no
doing
time.
it?
Yeah.
I have no time to do.
I mean, you cannot say that. Then when you say no time to do, you cannot blame
can't
Facebook for
blame.
that, lor.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Because your only reliance is you want to look at the
Oh.
dashboard and all the information in the single.
I want it to be
Ain't gonna
here.
happen. Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it's not happening, that's why I always like to tell people, Facebook Pixel is not your analytical tool, first thing. And second thing is, it's not the only way you measure your campaign success.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Because-
Jason, can you repeat your first one. It's not what?
It's not an analytical tool.
It's not an analytical tool.
You don't, first thing
It's
first.
not your marketing central
it's a-
portal.
Now,
Yes.
it's a first no if you rely on Facebook Pixel to analyze your traffic or your whatever, because it's not meant for that.
More for building audience lah.
It's more, remember what I said, tracking and measure, not analytical. I didn't say analytical. So what is the right tool for analytics?
GA.
I mean, Google is what? Google Analytics. So
Yeah.
you got to use the right tool to do the right thing. And if you ask me, you can always do your tracking using GA. I can do my attribution using GA.
But GA, I'm very sure GA you cannot put inside your third-party website. GA
You can
will-
ask your third-party website to look at your UTM.
Yeah, ask them to pass the UTM lah, yeah, lah, which I'm doing.
So you can actually ask them to pass you the UTM reporting from their side. And here you can match.
Yeah. Excel, my friend, Excel. Just one simple tool.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a very interesting discussion. I like it the way it's going, because I really want to. I mean, to be frank, I receive a lot of questions about Pixel on my YouTube videos. I have now more than 800 videos out there. Crazy.
I'm sure.
I get questions all the time. Sometimes I cannot brain that question. Seriously.
Yeah.
So it's like, wait, it's the end of the world. Hey, come on now. How many times I want to say this? It's not.
Yeah.
That's why I say, I think I would agree. I would actually stand on my point and say that actually Facebook Pixel kind of make marketers lazy, because you are pampered, you are spoiled, and you forgot that there are so many other ways to analyze and to track.
True.
Marketers are resourceful. We don't stop here, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have GA to pass back the UTM. You have people who actually show up to fill up the survey, or even during the booking itself, you can do the survey. So it connect, as in offline, connect back to the online. And what else?
Now you're talking.
Well,
Now you have a few solutions already.
I'm listening. I'm learning.
Yeah. It's step by step, basically step by step.
So you just need to, actually it's very easy if you look at the whole entire customer journey. That's why we always look at entire customer journey. Is there any hole to fill? Is there any gap to fill? There must be. There are so many customer touch points. You tell me you can't extract data from them. And you say you have no time to do all these. Okay, I mean, when they walk through the door, can you make it mandatory for whoever will serve them to get them to do something?
Yep.
Or actually to give them a QR code and say that scan this and answer a few bloody questions and I give you some voucher for the next visit. I mean, that could be something that can be done, because
Be creative.
it's about finding ways to make them talk to you.
Yeah.
And find the data.
But I have to highlight again, Pixel is important for building audience, because building audience is the first step to lookalike audience.
I agree. The whole discussion doesn't discount the importance of Facebook Pixel and conversion.
Pixel is very important. Then lookalike audience is the whole reason why we are using Google or Facebook, because that the quality of the lookalike audience is so much better than their detailed targeting or interest targeting.
That depends on the volume of your.
That depends,
audience.
seriously.
Of course,
not
your customer
necessarily.
audience is 1,000 and above lah.
The quality of your custom audience is a lot more
And of course,
important.
1,000 quality customer lah.
Yeah. I think 1,000 doesn't work enough.
That's the base lah. I mean, the more you have, the better it
Yeah.
is. But before we go further,
Let's look at-
lookalike audience. I will talk about lookalike audience, the quality
Okay.
of lookalike audience.
Yep.
Anyway, so now bring up GY, not as accurate as before. Lesser
It's
quality
matching
leads.
only, ma.
Yeah, it's just the matching. Yeah.
It's just matching.
Yeah, it's just the attribution, not accurate. But it's not, doesn't mean that Facebook is losing its data. That's what I want to highlight.
Yeah.
Some more streamlined detailed targeting by removing a lot of things inside it. Now, the streamlining detailed targeting is not really related about whether Facebook has the data or not.
Is it?
Do you
cannot
understand
share.
the reason why they actually streamline the detailed targeting?
Or share with me. I want
The
to hear more.
streamline detailed targeting, because they want to remove, it's mainly for anti-discrimination purpose.
Yes.
So that's
It's not about
Human rights.
it's not about they losing info about you,
They just don't share with you. That's all.
They just don't want to let you take only, ma.
Yeah. That's all.
That's
They
it.
still have it.
They still have everything here. I still know which porn star you watch the most.
But I'm a paying customer. I want to
Who cares?
use.
But the
Who cares?
data is not yours, Manfred.
Yeah.
I just want to use the data to reach my
I mean,
objective.
It's not
that's
yours.
why they say
It's not for you to use.
you don't want to use Facebook, you go lah. I mean, this is what it is right now.
I can't. Google cannot make it in terms of display.
Well, okay, let's think about this. Before Facebook, how did you run ads?
I don't want to go back to TVC or newspaper.
No, it's not TVC. Before Facebook introduced so many detailed targeting and so all that,
Yeah.
let's say for
With
example,
all the AIs and all the stuff, how
I
you do
mean,
it?
here's the
same
thing. Here's the thing. When they remove
many
detailed
years
targeting-
ago.
when they remove detailed targeting, doesn't mean that the AI stop learning.
Yeah.
That's one thing you have to get really distinctively right.
Very clear.
When they stop giving you the option, doesn't mean that they stop learning.
Yeah.
You see the relation here? Does not mean that they are at getting
Stupid.
sucks. No. If you look at it, right, the AI actually become better from time to time. If you look at it in most of the campaigns that we are observing, and let me share with you my recent learning. In fact, when we go broad, the campaign can work better.
Oh, I've been going broad for
Yeah.
many years.
It doesn't work for me lah. I tried before.
I mean, I don't know how you tried. Seriously, I don't know how you tried, and I don't know how you look at it. I don't know how you test it. But based on our experience, I would say quite a number of so-called campaigns that we are using broad are doing so much better because it's
Zero
about
interest.
how you educate the system.
Yes.
It's about how you educate your campaign. Let's say, for example, if you are like Manfred, keep banging on, I'm not able to track the final conversion, so I actually run traffic. So when you run traffic, rubbish in, rubbish out. So when you run a campaign that gets a lot of rubbish traffic, Facebook will believe that, oh, these are the things that you want. These are the people that you want. So they will find more people who are likely to take the click.
Because they're looking at data, they're not looking
They don't
at
care. But if you educate your audience well, I mean, if you educate your campaign well, or you educate your pixel well, I'm going for lead, let's say, or I'm going for the people who click the bloody damn button. I mean, at least on my side. So there will be significantly lesser people who click the bloody button, right? But that helps Facebook to learn better about,
That's it.
Does it make sense? The whole logic.
Yeah, I agree, but I just want to add one more point is that the algorithm, the Facebook algorithm, as I always like to say, is both stupid and smart at the same time. They are stupid and smart because you need to hold their hand to cross the road. You must teach them 50 times within 7 days, then they understand, oh, so this is what you want. Then they were able to find the right people for you.
Bro, what do you expect?
Yeah, the algorithm still need to be trained.
I mean,
It's machine. What?
it's...
Even human beings also, you try
isn't
to
human being
if
as
your
well?
instructions is not clear.
If you come in
Even
through my
human
door and I
beings
tell you
also can
that do
help you.
Facebook ads without teaching you how to do Facebook ads, can you do it?
Yeah.
I mean, right? And too many people, too many advertisers out there are like, I don't care, man. You got to know what I want, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Ain't
why
gonna
do you
happen.
don't know what I want? What the hell? I mean, seriously, I agree to a point where it is stupid and smart at the same time, but it can get smart if you really
Very smart.
understand the fact that it is stupid at first.
It is very smart when they really reach enlightenment.
Yeah.
You'll be worried when you twitch your eyebrows and then the system knows exactly what you want. You'll be freaking scared if that comes to
you'll
that
be
day.
freaking scared. And TY say if they can discriminate good life, if you see USA, you can target based on yearly salary on the person. You see high value goods, I target based on salary. This is actually based on the policy and based on the availability of data as well. You know, Facebook don't have any more in our company, in our country to actually pry on our income data. Of course, they don't know. But in Malaysia as well, I think you can also target people who actually
I think I've seen that before.
more into buying high value goods and stuff like that. I mean, these are still there in a way.
Yeah.
In a way.
Consumer who buy high-end prices, I think Malaysia still can target. Singapore you can't find.
Yeah.
But the main thing is Mark Zuckerberg actually able to buy data for US audience.
I don't know about that lah. That one is not being discussed publicly. I don't know Mark personally, so I won't be able to speak on behalf. But I guess if it's happening, it's
There
probably
are third-party
allowed.
data aggregators.
Yeah, if it's happening, it's probably allowed.
Yeah.
It's probably allowed in their country. It's not happening in our country. Maybe they don't have way to find it, or maybe they are doing it. I don't know.
Mm.
But do I say recent campaign get more result, the quality, like slightly lower? But here's the thing. If you get more result, let's say, for example, previously you get, like 10 leads and 2 of them are useful. Now you get 20 leads and 2 of them are useful. Isn't it the same? I mean, in a way, you're paying the same money, you're getting the X number of useful leads, but maybe you get more leads on front and you can actually do a little bit more things. That's why one thing that a lot of people kind of like, we talk about lead gen, and even talk about the event, let's say Manfred's situation as well. Too many people focus on the end result. How many conversion I get, but so little people talk about nurturing the audience.
Absolutely.
How do you nurture? Hey, come on, man. Seriously, who the hell are you? Why do you think everybody who walks through the door must buy from you? So what are you doing to build in a way like you should actually do email? Like for those who actually come on board, let's say 100 people, you get 2 purchase. I mean, that 98 of them, you should actually email them, don't you think? You can start building something. Hire Andrew, please. Work on your email, talk to them, nurture them, they will buy. Or on top of that, how do you build your retargeting campaign? Makes a difference.
Yep.
Huge difference. But too many people do retargeting like, I know you're here, buy now. Okay, I mean, that's it. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm working on a case right now. One of my coaching clients has 50% return customer.
Oh, that's not bad.
50
50.
50%
Return
customer.
What do you mean return customer?
Meaning that they come and buy within the
They
next
come
3
and buy
months.
50%. Well, that's not bad.
50%. I mean, whatever you sell, right, I would say there must be some bunch of people that can come back and buy from you again.
Yeah.
Like even for Manfred's case, you're doing restaurant there, right?
Mm.
Do you actually look at how do you make your customer come back and buy more and eat more?
Yeah.
Do you have loyalty system in place?
Mm.
Do you have advertising nurturing them? You see, like we want to come back and talk about one more very important thing that you talk about, the lookalike audience. Too many people say that in order to create high quality lookalike audience, I must have my pixel in place so that I'll be able to capture the people who purchase, and I'm going to use that to create lookalike audience.
Okay.
Is that the logic?
Yeah, that's the logic.
That's the logic, right? I must be able to track purchase because I want to use that custom audience to create my lookalike
Purest
audience.
form.
Correct?
Yeah.
But for those who purchase, don't you fucking have their phone number, their email address? Wait,
You can build your customer audience from there. Okay lah. Irrespective, there's always a yin and yang. Even if you can't build your customer audience, you can build exclusion. So the customers that you don't want to serve and all those things, also another set. You can build that as your customer audience to exclude these people. Why can't you do that?
there are so many ways. But you see, here's the thing. Too many people get, God,
Yeah,
I got
but
roadblock here. I gotta fucking fix this to get through. I mean, seriously. I find it very interesting. That's why, this is a very important episode. We talk about Facebook Pixel, we talk about conversion API. In fact, I think the whole discussion is about how to get creative being a marketer.
and also the intimate understanding of the customer journey. And you're right, Jason, absolutely, because I've got a customer who are driving traffic to a Zoom webinar. Obviously, we can't track that. But you can do is do a landing page and have a button that links to Zoom, and you track that button, which is on your asset, which is your website. There's a good chance. Then you monitor the number of people who sign up for Zoom from your landing page, and then people who actually attend the webinar, for example, and you look at the journey from then on, and then you work your messaging from there. Then you supplement it with your messenger or your emails and all those things to actually drive them to get, just because somebody registered for Zoom, if you don't follow up with them, they aren't going to attend your Zoom.
Absolutely agree. We do lead gen as well, Some people who sign up as a lead 1-2 years ago, they sign up for the same webinar again now, and they buy.
Yeah. And you know what? Because you have email address, you can actually build your custom audience. Just because they don't read your email address, they don't read your email, it's not the end of the world.
Yes.
Because you can still reach out to them through your ads.
And Doris said you did email your customers with promo and blog, but so far no one respond. It takes time, Doris.
Of course.
it takes time. You see,
And-
it's about building relationship.
Yeah.
It's just like when we are courting either guys or girls anyway. So basically, you know, you got to keep appearing in order to actually build that kind of trust factor and all that. And eventually, it may take some time. But what I would say here is if you do it correctly and consistently and persistently, it happens.
Yeah.
It will
Stories
happen.
Just one thing, if your email is keep on sell, just like real life, I also will be turned off and I will unsubscribe. And
Yeah, I mean, unsub is good. Basically, but then again, yeah, you shouldn't do sell. You should.
do a proper one-to-one conversation on an email, as in like real human being talking. Then say example 1 week you send 7 times. Obviously, I will unsub. What you're harassing me? What?
I 1 week send 7 times.
Huh? You send 7 times.
I 1 week send 7 times. About that, 5 to 7 times. Yeah, Chihuahua also say it takes times. You see, hey, my recent email quite a lot. Because
Really?
I got a hang of it. You know, I kind of like it. You know, basically. But sometimes I do take a break. You guys don't worry.
If the email is heavy on the image and some of the Outlook don't load the images,
Yeah,
then I have
true.
no idea. Then I will just bloody ignore or even upsub also. So if yours is too heavy, if you follow Neil Patel, this is every time text-based one, very short.
We are text-based people.
Yeah, we're all text-based people. We are all 100% text-based.
But of course, once in a while you want to do image-based, is okay. You have to test it out. And the most important is mobile friendly. But I think just like it's just a human conversation and you move online, move to email.
That's
That's
true.
the most important.
I mean, you gotta. I mean, this is what I learned from Andrew, But Andrew, I'm not sure whether you have some free training that we can actually to go to your website. You can actually do some free training. And I think what's really important here is you gotta develop the really the idea that you are actually writing to a single person. That's one thing I learned from Andrew that works really well for me. You don't think that you're writing to 1,000 people, no.
Yep.
You're writing to one person. So when you write to that one person, how would you write it? I think that's the key. Yeah. And Chiwai said, it takes time to build relationship. That's very true. And Doris did come back and say your email is around the theme and loop into some product offer. I think you can actually. You keep practicing. You see, put it this way: my first, I don't know, God knows how many emails sucked because I was still finding the way. But now it's really like that. It's very handy. So I guess
that helps if you send 7 emails a week.
Yeah.
Or 7 daily
sometimes
emails.
more, Sometimes more. Yeah. Yes?
Andrew,
Yes.
I want to share one very important thing that you taught me about email. So normally the first wave of email that you send out is the event, your rah-rah thing. Then the second email, I really like the way you teach me this one. Just like, say example, I send an email to Jason, he's my customer. Hi Jason, I believe you have registered, but I didn't find your name in your list. There must be something missed out. I believe that you're interested. Then it really captures people's attention, the way you phrase it. Then Jason will be, actually I wanted to sign. Then you got to push a little bit more, very subtle. Then Jason will sign up.
Yeah, it's
And
a standard abandoned cart sequence.
It really works. It's fantastic. So really, you have to learn a lot from Andrew. He's the treasure chest of email marketing.
100%. So if you guys need help in email marketing, like I said, it takes time, but it sure work. And eventually, when you get it done right, if you learn the right thing, the right way to do it, you can do marvel with email, right? And look for Andrew, the guy down there. I mean, at the bottom over here on this screen, he is the master of email, and he's actually working. He's now helping clients to either you want to learn or you want to develop an email system for your business. That's where you can actually get it done. Now, I want to circle back to the customer journey. In fact, recently I've been advocating about beyond Facebook. Seriously, I've been advocating about this for months. Beyond Facebook, you see, I have been seeing this a lot in my journey. Let me explain what happened to some of my audiences. They came back to me. They see my ad on Facebook. Okay, they don't react. They quietly look at this guy and then they go Google. So when they go Google, they won't click on the first link, with Travel Academy and all that. They want to look for something that they can learn more about this guy. Oh, they start seeing some video. Then they go in and realize, oh, this guy has a YouTube channel. Let's quietly consume some of, not bad, 800 over videos. So they start consuming.
Marketeer show, Got two
you
more
got
co-hosts.
Tree Marketing Show over there as well. Okay, and then they consume a lot of content, and after they are ready, they come back and say that, okay, now I saw your ad the other day about this webinar. Is this still available? So
Zero moment of truth lah.
it's
Zero
not
moment.
just zero moment of truth already. It's about how you build your omni-channel presence.
Mhm.
When I say omni-channel, don't get intimidated and say that, oh, I gotta be on all platforms. No, I would say you gotta be on platforms that matters.
That your customers hang out.
Yes. And in my opinion, you should maintain social network, of course. Like I have Facebook, but I'm not active on Facebook. But nonetheless, I have bloody Facebook there. I have LinkedIn, but I'm never active on LinkedIn. But I have nonetheless a presence there. But I would say depending on your business.
Yeah.
For my business, it's heavily searched because people won't buy into a bloody face like that. Wow, look so lancy. I don't know whether this guy is for real or not. So many people actually came to me and say that, like the other day, I was just talking to a client, coaching client from Philippines. He said, 2 years ago, I saw your face. So many of your face there, I think you are scammed. But 2 years later, he come back to become my client. Seriously, he said that to me. He said, I thought you are scammed. How can you be like so dominating on the search result?
Right.
Hey, for the audience who are listening,
Uh,
I put my money. Jason is definitely not a scam.
I don't care.
Okay, I guarantee you, among all the lessons I took
Yeah.
online, he teaches the remarketing part the clearest. I
Thank
think
you.
he remember the other time I was having breakfast. I was saying, "Fuck man, I should have took Jason's lesson earlier." Yeah, true. He's not a scam, definitely.
Thanks,
Not my word.
thanks. But nonetheless, here's the thing. People look up for you. I mean, another thing that you have to totally acknowledge is, more and more people will not react to your ad in the first place.
Numb already.
More and more people will not respond to them ad in the first place.
Absolutely.
And they will start looking somewhere else. Now, here's the
Absolutely.
thing. When they start looking somewhere else, where? First ask yourself this question.
Google.
And are you there?
Yep.
First, where is this? And second thing is, are you there to convince them? Even let's say, for my case, people Google. Okay, so when they Google, I gotta make sure that I appear a lot. I mean, you can actually work on your website, or in my opinion, the easier way for people to start building trust is to have a YouTube channel.
Yep.
So depending on your business, something that you should look into about building the presence at the right place. Where people
Okay.
hang out.
That's another layer. Even if you're on that platform, if you have that presence, the next step is, are you able to demonstrate your capabilities
Oh yeah.
in the content? So just because, if you are not able to even explain a very simple case or explain a solution, for example, people will listen to you. You may be present in all the platforms. They'll look at it and say, I don't understand what this person is talking about, and I'm not going to buy from him.
That's very true.
It's important.
Very true. Very true.
And all the scenario you have painted is that Facebook only can track 7 day.
Yeah.
7 day.
I mean, okay. No.
You can change it, right?
No. You can't change.
Seven
7
days.
days.
Oh,
7 days.
Okay.
7 days. Now, that doesn't mean Facebook can only track 7 days. You don't get it wrong.
Facebook will tell you.
It's only conversion that happens within 7 days will be attributed.
Video view will be 365.
No, Manfred.
Oh,
7 day attribution is attribution.
subscription.
It only means, let's say, if I click on your ad and I take the action within 7 days, I'll be counted into your campaign. Your campaign and counted as one conversion attributed to the campaign. If I convert 10 days later, it will not be attributed.
Yep.
Technically, that's how it works. But
Yep.
it doesn't mean that Facebook is only able to keep your data for 7 days.
They just want to claim the career within the 7 days period, which is reasonable, because
If you
Yeah.
go back to website, it is still 180 days, my friend.
yes.
Website I can use. Video view is 365. But beyond 365, I think they are using it for some other
They are
purpose.
only giving you 180 days because they only allow you to retarget for 180 days or 365 days, but doesn't mean that they lost the data. I mean, get back to the basic. They own everything.
Yep.
Yeah, they own everything.
Feeding
But
them
nice discussion. I like this. Yeah, eventually we yam until like
1 hour.
We made it.
Okay, so the summary is this. Okay, let's summarize this. Let's summarize this. I'll start first.
You go.
Pixel is not, with or without a pixel, is not the end of the world.
Yep.
Advertising is all about communication and knowing who you want to talk to and delivering the message. Okay. What else, Jason?
And I think
Facebook is also not an analytical tool.
Facebook Pixel is not an analytical tool. It's only meant for tracking and measuring. And
Measuring.
nonetheless, although it's not attributed to your campaign, doesn't mean that Facebook don't own the data. And,
Yes.
you know, although, I mean, even now you are losing so many detailed targeting options, doesn't mean that Facebook is stopped. It's not learning about all these activities as well. It just stopped giving you as an option. They are still master, of everything. They know everything you do. Like I say, they know which porn star you are into. Basically, they track up to that extent. And how many minutes you watch on that website, kind of stuff. And basically, they have all this data. So what you really have to look at here is, I think one very key takeaway is about, I think digital marketing should be about solving problems. And marketers, whether it's conventional or digital, it's very important for us to get creative about how to find a way to make things work.
Absolutely.
Instead of looking at it, I can't track this anymore, I'm dead. No, actually, there are many ways. I guess we have to, as a marketer, I truly value this ability, and I truly believe that, in order to excel moving forward, even in Web3, the ability to improvise and be creative is really the key.
It's there. I just need to open your eyes and ears, and don't be lazy in collecting your own data, please. The information is in front of you.
Yeah, it's always there because the people is there. When they walk through the door, do whatever you want with them, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
But too little people do that.
Yep.
Incentivize them.
Yeah.
So
sales,
this episode is more for slightly advanced people who has experience with Facebook. If you're totally lost, when you have some experience with Facebook advertising and setting up Pixel, do come back and watch this episode again. And what the two of them had just spoke for the last 5 to 10 minutes is a classic case of how entrepreneurs will handle things. They see through things and they won't take no for the answer. So I still got a lot of catch up to do. Yeah.
And Chiwai said this is a great session. I enjoyed that as well. I think it's good. And he says screw the pixel, we go.
Go brother hunter.
Yeah, can try lah.
Yeah, and Doris says to do more on Jason Nation, right? Okay. I go deeper on during our sessions in Jason Nation. Yeah, and then
what else?
Don't follow your style. No lah. We know you're kidding. All right, now website of the week.
Wow.
Manfred.
What do we have for wow?
Okay.
It's actually a tool that Manfred is using recently.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I'm going to put it into the chat right now for you guys to.
All right.
Oh wait,
Let me check and see.
it's already posting.
So it's a very simple tool lah. So I was playing a lot on video recently. So you can play like speed up or slow down the video. Just put it inside, and you can change the thing. There's even cutting, resizing, rotating, change format, mute, whatever.
Wow.
All sorts of nonsense you can play around this thing.
Right.
Okay, so you all can play with this thing.
What's the site? What's the site URL again? Is it
EasyGIF.com. Easy GIF. Easy GIF. I mean, you read that GIF or GIF?
GIF, right?
I read GIF. But some people read it GIF. But anyway, easy
GIF. You
GIF.
Yeah, you pronounce it in any way you want.
EasyGIF.com.
All right.
GIF.com.
Awesome.
Okay.
So we got a guest next week.
Okay, cool.
We have a guest
next week. We have guests. Yeah.
All
Cool.
right.
All right. So stay tuned next week, and I hope
We
this
are
episode
inching
is
to
fun.
100. We have no idea yet how we're going to do our 100.
Yeah, we have no idea.
It will
We have
happen
no
when it
idea.
happens. So just stay tuned.
Yeah.
For 92.
Yeah, Chiwai says slow down. The timing is good because okay, cool. I mean, that's something useful. So go ahead and play with it. Thanks, Manfred, for another awesome website of the week. And with that,
thank you
we
for
wrap
bringing
this
up the
episode.
subject.
Yep. Thank you for picking the subject. It's a really nice one. And we enjoyed this. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're watching the replay, thank you. And see you next week, same time, Wednesday, 10 p.m. Good night. Bye-bye.
Cheers.